Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper and today I'll be doing my top 5 favourite Legend of Zelda mini-games. Now within the Zelda series, you can get to play a ton of different mini-games, and each mini-game gives you different rewards, whether it's a heart piece or an extra bow quiver or something like that, and I'll just be going with some of the mini-games from the Zelda series that I find quite interesting. Now, for number 5 is the Yeti Isolating minigame. Now, this can only be accessed once you've beaten Blazita, and I think if you warp to any teleportation warp point that's in normal Hyrule, you'll be given a letter by the postman from the Yetis, who will offer you the chance to have a race with them on the Iceled's mountain. And what I like about this is that you get to face not only the male Yeti, but also his wife. And I feel like this is a good mini game because of the course that you're on, because it's the same course that you took to get to where the Blazita boss fight is, and also where one of the shards of the Mirror of Twilight is. And for this one, it's basically just like got a lot of things that you need to avoid, like icicles, keys, a bridge that you try and get across, and also towards the end there are two different directions that you can take. One being a shortcut, which is basically more narrow and a bit risky, while the other one is a north path, and that's a lot safer and that has more chance of you getting to the end in time. And when you're facing against the male Yeti, he basically takes the normal route, and while you're facing against his wife, she takes the shortcut. And I feel like that this is a good concept of how the minigame goes, because of how you should probably try and take the minigame and which route you can take. And afterwards, I think you're given a piece of heart afterwards, which I feel like is a good reward because it's just, a really cool minigame. I think this is one of the few memorable minigames in Twilight Princess. So yeah. So for number 4 is the Bombchu Alley minigame from Ocarina of Time. Now, what I like about this minigame is that it gives you multiple rewards, depending on which visit you're at. So let's say for the first visit, you're given an extra Bombchu, or you're given a Bombchu bag, which gives you extra Bombchus, or bombs, or whatever, or a piece of heart, or a 50 rupee. And I do really like this minigame because of how the target is displayed, because depending on basically what you do is use the Bombchu to get the target, but the target is a certain distance away, and for let's say for the first one it might be a couple of meters in front of you, the next one is a bit further, and then the final one is a lot further, and there are several obstacles that you do need to avoid. But the only thing that's kind of against you is the amount of Bombchus that you have. I think you have about 10 Bombchus during this minigame. And what I like about this is that you have to be really calculated in where you'll hit the Bombchu, and hoping that the Bombchu that you put in the alley is the one that hits the target, and that's the one that is able to get you the reward. And I feel like this is a good minigame because it is really cool, and it just shows you how to place the Bombchus. And I think the Bombchus in Ocarina of Time are slightly better than the ones in I think they're about the same. I think the Bombchus are about the same in both Ocarina of Time and Phantom Hourglass because of how they're used in both games. Even though I feel like the Bombchus in Ocarina of Time are slightly better than the ones in Phantom Hourglass. For number 3 is the Star Grappling Hook minigame in Twilight Princess. Now, I feel like out of the minigames in Twilight Princess, I feel like this is the most memorable one in my opinion, because they used my favourite item in the entire Zelda games, that being the claw shots. And what I like about this minigame is that it can be found in Hyrule Castle, or not Hyrule Castle, Hyrule Market Town, and this can be found once you enter and you go down an alleyway on your left, or on linked left, and you can basically do this twice. The first time you do it is when you get the singular claw shot, and the second time you can do it is when you get the double claw shots. And I feel like this is a cool mini game because you get like an extra quiver that you're given, and that can basically give you more arrows. And I feel like this is really cool because like after you do this, after you've beaten the mini game for the first time, you're given this fan club of these 3 girls that are waiting outside the area where the mini game is, and they also show up when you're playing the mini game to show, well, basically to see how you do, and also as a sort of support. And also, if you talk to them, not only will they follow you around Hyrule Market, but they also give you hearts to help you recover. And I think that's really cool, and I feel like this is a really cool mini game. For number 2, it's the cuckoo dodging minigame from A Link Between Worlds. Now, what I like about this minigame is that it's basically to avoid a bunch of cuckoos, which sounds easy, but the more time that you try and avoid these cuckoos, you'll eventually run into large cuckoos, which basically takes up almost the entire area where you're trying to avoid cuckoos, because you're basically entrapped in this pen thing, and the larger cuckoos basically takes up half of it, so you have to really try and make sure you dodge the larger ones, but then both the larger ones and the smaller ones will eventually come together and sort of like go across the screen, and it does take a concentrated eye to try and go past every single one, and I think you get a heart piece at the end or something. I think it's a heart piece that you get at the end, and I feel like this is a really cool mini game because it really makes you try and concentrate on how you play this mini game, and I think it's a really cool way of playing the game. And for number 1 is the boss rush mini game from Skyward Sword. Now, what I like about the boss rush in this game is that you're given a certain amount of rewards from the Thunder Dragon, Lanayru, and so basically he gives you the challenge of fighting all of the bosses that you've previously fought. So up to this point, this is up to the point of the game when you're getting the Song of the Hero, and you've beaten a large amount of bosses. So like Girahim, the Imprisoned, Koloktos, the Scorpion one, I forgot that one, Bolderak, and several other bosses in the game so far. And everyone that you fight, and everyone that you beat, the rewards goes upwards. So you might start off with 100 rupees, but then Lanayru might give you 200 rupees, and then he might give you a piece of heart. And then the final prize that you can get in the entire boss rush is the Hylian shield, a shield that cannot break, and is the only one of its kind in the game. Because within the game you can buy like wooden shields, iron shields, sacred shields, but you can just buy multiple ones of them. With the Hylian shield in this game, this is the only one in existence ever, and I think this is a really good reward once you've beaten the entire boss rush. And I think you need to beat like 12 or 13 bosses in this boss rush, and it's either 13 or 12. And I do have a way of sort of getting the Hylian shield quite easily, and that's by doing the Lanayru section first. I know that there's a glitch in Skyward Sword about if you go to Lanayru first during the Song of the Hero and you do a certain thing, you won't be able to do the rest of the Song of the Hero, and that makes the rest of the game inaccessible. For me, I've never experienced that glitch, so I've always went to Lanayru first and got the Hylian shield, because if you go to Faron and Eldin before you go to Lanayru, the Lanayru area to get the Song of the Hero, you'll have to face the Imprisoned a third time. But because I always went to Lanayru first, I didn't have to experience fighting the Imprisoned for the third time. So because the Imprisoned third round I don't get to do, I'm able to do that one without getting the third fight of the Imprisoned round as a random choice or something. So yeah, that's kind of how I've been doing the boss rush in Skyward Sword. So yeah, that's been my top 5 favourite boss mini games from the Legend of Zelda series. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.